All right, welcome everybody to the West, a Dishonored RPG campaign that we run Tuesdays, 7 o'clock. It's a bit late. We're 5 minutes late, but that's fine. So, last session, what happened, Rachel?
Last session, we started off in Sunline. The morning of our departure, we talked to Ren about the interrogation and found out that she had gone and done it ahead of time without us. Caused a little bit of friction, but she shared a little bit of what she got from the two people we'd captured the previous day, and we considered that enough. We got in the airship with Algie and with Grounder and Ellison, our new pilot. And while on the airship on the way to Jessamine, things got a little interesting because a few of us decided to do a void ritual to see if we could contact Leonard Glynn. Uh, that went poorly. Anton and Sab both received some sorts of visions from the void. Sebastian took Void Fiend that we didn't necessarily know he had. He ended up after the ritual kind of going crazy and I think trying to kill me, though I'm not entirely sure about the motivation. So the rest of us ended up fighting him. Barrett, who was shooting skeet with Grounder at the time, heard this, came up, and helped us out with that. So we knocked him unconscious. Grounder asked if we wanted to kill him, and we didn't. So we stuck him in the armory, put all the weapons out of the armory, and now that's kind of our makeshift brig. Oh yeah, also another important thing, Algie released Sab and I from the curse, so we are no longer tied to the spikes or each other. Funny that he could do that the entire time and didn't tell us. I think that's about it. Anyone else think of anything?
Yep, that's pretty much everything as far as I can remember. So, that whole conflict has just transpired. I believe the last thing we left off was literally you all putting him in the brig.
Yep.
Brig. So, you all that are here, what are you doing now?
What was that all about?
Uh, I don't know. He just started attacking us all of a sudden. Anton, do you know what happened?
Must have been the Void Fiend or something. I'm sure he hasn't taken any before. I think he took a lot.
The two of you both passed out. Did you see anything? Or hear
Uh,
anything?
well, I heard that thing come on the radio. I think you heard that too,
The
right?
voice, yeah.
And then saw a little vision with the portrait, and then
A vision?
yeah,
What did you see?
yellow eyes. That's most of it. I can. Well, I don't have paint right now. Otherwise,
Oh, yeah.
I could show you, but I'll do that when I get paint again.
We'll see about that as soon as we get down to Jessamine, I promise. But there was nothing that you think would have encouraged him to go all berserk like that.
I mean, you know I didn't. I came back perfectly in my right mind. It must have been something else.
I guess we can ask him when he wakes up, if he's in his right mind, that is.
So we're gonna have an interrogation after all.
Hmm. And here we thought we'd avoided it. Mr. Barrett, I do want to be very clear with you. I know this is the first time you've left in a while, and that thing sort of went down the drain when you did. Just don't go drawing causalities between the two events. You got it? I could have taken care of Sab if I'd wanted to. Actually, this new weapon, the presage that Sandra got me, it's incredible. I could have taken him down on my own if I'd wanted to.
Thank the
Certainly
void.
looked that way.
Thank the void you were on.
I just want you to know you don't have to, stick so close if you don't want to. Don't take this as a caution against doing your own thing every once in a while.
Of course, though I will be keeping a much closer eye on things, especially Sab. What are we doing with him when we get there?
We should at least talk to him first. See what he has to say about it all if he comes back and he is in his right mind. But I don't know.
It might have been something triggered by the event and won't happen again.
But how
We'd
can
have
we,
to ask.
how can we be sure?
Well, if it was caused by Void Fiend, we'll just make sure he never takes Void Fiend again.
Why would I've never heard of Void Fiend doing anything like that.
Well, I'm sure people can have poor reactions to it, especially imagine they took a lot. the first time they ever had it, he did. So maybe that's what it was.
How did
It
he
was
even get his
just-
hands on the stuff?
Well, I did have a lot. It's possible some of it might have gotten lost, and I didn't notice.
If it was triggered by the Void Fiend, how can we be sure he won't steal some and take it again?
Well, if we told him that if he ever did something like that, then that'd be it for him. Maybe that would be enough that he would never try it.
We've already been telling him that.
Well, he's never done this before.
It was a bit out of the blue, even for him, and he's a bit erratic sometimes.
That's putting it mildly.
I have known many people taking that stuff, going on murderous rampages and whatnot. Although I don't think it was quite caused by the thing. I think they were just on murderous rampages regardless, and thought that would enhance their experience somehow. But it only just degrades the perception, so quite a useless thing when it comes to combat.
When it comes to combat, sure.
And anything else.
I can tell you have strong feelings on the subject, Grandeur.
Oh, not strong feelings, just true ones. Well, let's just say I haven't heard of any good use of the substance ever in my life.
It's a part of my professional practice, actually.
Oh, really? Yes, your practice of giving people advice and tuning them into
The void.
void, right? I guess I'm just something of an old-fashioned person. I prefer just giving up straight advice rather than cloaking it with mysticism, but that's just my cup of tea, I suppose.
Oh, you got to understand, it's not, the two don't always go together. I can give advice from visions I get from the void,
Mm.
sure. Or some people are just looking for a good time,
Oh,
an experience with the void, you see. It's sort of the in thing right now. So everyone's interested in tapping into a part of it.
didn't quite know you were that kind of woman. I didn't see that in the dossier.
What kind of woman is that, Grandeur?
What's that?
What kind of woman is that?
You said that some people approach you for inexperience?
An interface with the void. Most people can't do it on their own.
Right, but you know how that sounds, correct?
How it sounds.
It sounds as though you are prostituting yourself. If you're saying, I have a one-on-one appointment where you can have an experience with me, I'm sorry, that's just how it comes off. If it isn't the case, please tell me.
It is not the case, Grounder. I wish I
Well,
knew your last name so I could... Corellius Alamander? Is that what it was?
that works.
Why would you even say something like that?
I mean, surely some of you get the connotation with that as well, correct?
Regrettably, I do.
It's the word experience, and the fact that it's a one-on-one kind of
It doesn't have to be
experience.
one-on-one, actually. Sometimes I run it with multiple people. Not like that. Get your minds out of the gutter, seriously.
I'm sorry. Well, it's not your word choice. It's the fact that people within that side of business prefer to use a very similar language.
Grounder,
Yes.
let me be very abundantly clear with you right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have never, nor will I ever, sleep with anyone for money. And that's not a part of my business. My business is in the void, in allowing people to tap into it, have some part of it. It's a common desire these days.
Well, then, I trust you on that subject. But there are a lot of people that have void experiences with void fiend and orgies.
I run a respectable business, Grounder.
And I believe you. And that makes me respect you all the more.
This is the end of this conversation.
Fair enough.
So, Sebastian, what are we going to do about him?
Let's go see if he's awake.
I guess we'll go to the armory and see if he's awake.
I'm going to go check on LG first. You all have fun down there.
He seems like he just wants to be left alone to sleep.
Well, someone needs to check the dressings anyways.
I guess the rest of us in that case are going to go to the armory.
Lee's gonna go in first to make sure he's still tied up.
Did I? Yeah, that's my question.
I
Any?
don't recall you all rolling for what you tied him up with. Wait, no, handcuffs.
Handcuffs, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If you're gonna try to escape, that's like
Okay, I'm just
probably
saying.
a 4 to escape.
I'm just saying,
It's
as
been done.
I'm guessing, Sabs starts to regain consciousness. Does he like notice anything?
Hmm. I
Besides his
cannot
hand?
quite control the emotions of your own character, but perception-wise, you are in an armory with no guns in it
And no light.
and no light. It's true. So it's quite dark, but you would see there is there's like a window in the door, very small, but just to look through. So there is some light shining through from there. That is about it.
Lee's gonna burst the door open and storm in. Sab, are you awake? He's gonna go and grab him by his coat.
Yeah.
And shake him. Sebastian, answer me.
Oh, hello.
What's the last thing you remember?
The looking glass and no, the painting. And
What painting?
the painting. Something happened? Why am I here?
And Lee's
Something
gonna
go
look
wrong?
down at your leg. And
Oh. Oh, that's not moving.
I assume Anton and I have come in after as well.
Lee's gonna look over at Heisel. You see her?
Of course he sees me, Mr. Barrett.
Yeah.
Do you know what you did?
Yes.
I don't think you do. I don't think you understand what's going on here. You tried to attack and kill her just a short time ago.
Not that you did a terribly good job of it,
No, that you did not.
but the attempt was made.
You also kicked Bill Sokolov.
That's true.
Like Anton Sokolov? Or like
Bill Sokolov, the dog.
The dog. You kicked my dog.
and you are
What?
You know Anton, don't you?
I mean, there's a lot of Antons, Missy.
Sebastian, what's the last thing you do remember? You said something about a painting. What painting is that?
Well. So I'm here because I attacked her.
Yes.
Then why are you here on my case for attacking her?
Because I'm an enforcer and I'm her bodyguard.
Sebastian, what's my
You
name?
should talk to Arga about that. I don't necessarily listen. If things happen and mistakes are made, best to talk to Anton. And I mean, she looks fine. So
I didn't give you much of a chance. Get a bruise or two, but it'll heal quickly. You said Argon.
Oh.
You mentioned the name before, I'm pretty sure. Who is he?
oh snap. Yeah, Argon. Who's Argon? I don't know who Argon is.
Fuck!
Ah!
Lee's gonna shove him against the wall.
Listen, buddy. I'm on your side, okay?
Are you?
Yeah.
Then you
We're
better get a lot
stolen
more
all the
direct
way.
answering your questions.
Why are you in Morley?
It's none of your business. Answer our questions now.
Oh, wow.
You aren't the one in control here.
Wow. I will. He kind of does this weird, like, thing like this. I will take that that's probably true. But listen, I want to know if I'm getting interrogated. Do I have rights of
No.
war? No? Okay. So I can guess exactly who you guys are from. He's reaching in his pocket. Does he feel anything?
Lee notices that, right? Your hands are also handcuffed still.
Roll a stealth check.
Yeah.
It would be more noticeable probably because you have to like
handcuffs.
drag your hand.
Right, you shift your entire. Yep. Yeah. Crap. What's the disadvantage mechanic in this game?
Maybe just increase the difficulty.
Well, it's going to be a contest.
I think
so-
it's just adding one success or something like that to either side, or making it one harder for the disadvantaged
That would
side.
make sense.
All right. So -1 whatever success you
Alright.
got.
Move quietly, I'm guessing.
So
That is correct.
study carefully, I guess.
Yes.
No.
One success.
No successes.
Are you using the infographic?
Yes.
I think that is.
Makes my day.
That's one success. So that'd be
You
like
rolled 2.
one.
So then
Roll
that's
one
0.
success.
Yes, I rolled an 8, so I have one success,
Right.
but not a critical success.
But I did just say that it is -1 on the successes,
Okay,
unfortunately.
then it is.
What number did you roll?
I
Or
rolled
what was your
10
lowest
my
number?
lowest.
10. Yeah, this is a weird system. I probably should have asked you just to roll 1 dice. That's a lot better. Can you go ahead and make that check again? Just roll 2 dice for you and just 1 dice for you.
Alright,
I'm sorry, the -1.
that makes sense.
-1 system does not
Yeah,
really
yeah.
work.
All right.
2 successes.
A success.
Okay, so
You notice he's.
yes, you do notice that he's shifting around.
So Lee's going to punch him in his bullet wound in his shoulder.
Oh wow!
Hands
Take
out of
one.
your pockets.
He
Take
grabs
one stress.
you. Huh?
Take 1 stress.
Oh yes.
Where did you handcuff him? Or in
Yeah,
front?
I assume it was behind.
Oh, he's behind. Okay.
Yeah,
I missed that. Okay.
Yep, I think that's standard
Okay,
procedure.
then
So
yeah.
yeah.
The only way I would do it in front is if I'm handcuffing him to something.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Back is just
That
much
makes
better.
more
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna put a hand on Mr. Barrett's shoulder and I'm going to look at Sebastian. Mr. Greylouse, you got to understand, we're not who you think we are. We don't really answer to anybody.
Lee's also going to search his pockets while
Oh.
she's saying this.
Good idea. What does he find?
He finds Sab's journal. Well, not a switchblade, but he also there's the sturdy sword, his mask, a lighter, brass knuckles, a wooden owl, his bone charm, three spring razors, tinkering
Taking
tool.
these out and pouring these on the ground as he's saying that.
Oh, he also has his whale blade. There's the leather jacket, and then you find a book basically.
He takes everything except for the jacket. And
Mr.
throws,
Greylouse.
And a lot of money. Or not a lot. Well, there's money.
he takes the money out too and throws it on the floor.
Hey!
We don't answer to anybody. We don't have to play by any specific code of rules. So
Oh,
here's
yeah.
what we're gonna do.
Well, then that really kind of.
You're going
persuades
to
me
answer
you
our
are.
questions very directly,
Okay.
very shortly, without pretense.
Well,
We'll
let
know
me-
if you're lying.
Well, let me put it this way. I'm not exactly eager to negotiate with rebels.
I told you. We don't play by anyone else's specific rules. We're not on anyone's side.
Well, let me put it this way.
Look at this.
And you have no
He's showing you his uniform.
room to negotiate.
Yeah. You're still in. I know. But
Do you want to live, Sebastian?
who? No. Listen.
Most people do.
Okay, let me.
Most people want to walk away from a scene like this.
Yes. It's very advantageous.
Then if you want to play
I
to your own
think- I
advantage, you're
think
going
the
to
place
answer
that
our
we should
questions,
start
Sebastian.
Is the fact that I'm not Sab, whoever that lucky son of a gun is, because obviously he's someone you guys don't like. So I advise you go find him, and then we negotiate with him. Okay?
What's your name?
Cable,
Could you spell that?
like cable gun.
What's your full name?
Yeah, that's kind of classified.
Do we look like we care?
I don't care if it's classified.
Well, okay. Timothy Goldwyn.
I'm sorry, you said Timothy Goldwyn?
Goldwyn. Yeah.
Goldwyn.
Can we, like, check that?
Yeah, actually, could, yeah.
Heisel, would you actually prefer to lead on that?
I would. I have an insight skill or intuition.
Would I be able to help on that as well?
Absolutely.
What am I doing? Talk boldly?
Ooh,
I don't know. What would
yeah,
I?
just roll a talk boldly check for me, please.
You don't currently have the bow charm.
Oh, yes, that's 12. Thank you. That is a 1 success.
3.
Hey,
Yeah, I didn't help.
Okay.
you realize that that's who he thinks he's Timothy Goldwyn.
So he's telling the truth, or at least as much as he knows, he's telling the truth.
At about this time, Grounder would step towards the room and pop his head in the window.
Just leave this to us, right? Bit of a personal matter. Mind sticking with LG for a little while longer?
I mean, he's fine.
Just-
I'm quite good at this kind of thing.
What style?
What's that?
What style of doing this thing? Like his? I'm gonna point to Lee, who's like slamming him against the wall repeatedly.
I have my own style.
That's what I'm asking. What is it?
It's my own style.
Which is?
Mine.
Grounder,
Yes.
you've got to realize that this is, or has been a friend of ours. So long as you keep that in mind,
Mm-hmm.
and so long as you leave if I ask you to. Go ahead.
They're totally lying. We've never met before.
He seems to have experienced some sort of memory loss.
Okay, what year is it? I'll leave after this question.
Quickly referencing the timeline.
Whisper.
Super confusing time.
Who just won the World Series? No.
It's dates weeks of and then and then 1960.
What? That's in the
Sorry,
future.
1860.
Okay. The future. Good time, relatively. But not now. Have fun with this. And he just leaves.
I'm a painter. You mentioned something about painting. Is there any way you could describe what it looked like? I might be able to recreate it and you could see it better. I don't know. I'm just very interested in what you meant by that.
So am I, come to think of it. Well, oddly enough, do many self-portraits?
What?
Do you do many self-portraits?
No.
Self-portrait would be good. That's
Why do you want his picture?
it.
That's what he saw.
Yeah, it was you. Except how to put this gently. You were taking drugs, and a lot of them.
In a
That's
painting.
not a painting.
But listen, I'm not here to debate art. I'm here to, I don't know,
Mr. Goldwyn.
beat up.
Sure,
against-
that's not a memory.
Just call me Cable. It's better.
You're sure it was a painting, not just something that you're saying is a painting because
Okay, well maybe.
you don't remember what surrounds that.
Well,
Does it look like a painting or
Okay.
does it look like a memory?
wait. No, I saw you through the painting?
So what was the painting?
After the painting? I don't know.
What was the painting?
It's like this weird 3 painting. You know, you put one here, put one over there, put one over there. You know,
What was in the panels?
Yeah, you definitely can't recall.
I don't remember. I guess
It's honestly more of an idea that was impressed upon you of 3 panel painting rather than.
It's more of like.
Yeah.
Was I dreaming? That would make a lot of sense. It was like the impression of 3-panel painting.
We're getting sidetracked. Who is Argon?
And maybe I shouldn't talk about that. No,
He slams him against the wall again.
you are.
Okay, well,
He's also
Frisky
picked you
boy.
up and he's standing up and holding you in his arms.
That's just gonna wear you out, fella.
do you remember anything about music books?
Yeah, they play music or the
Or about the void?
the big music boxes. Those are real, use them to. Well, I mean, it's kind of useless now because no one has void powers.
Do you
But-
remember Argon and Sherry and all the others betraying you?
They don't.
Is it anything?
You've
Do
told
you
us
have any
things.
memory of something like this? Is this the sort of thing you're talking about?
DM?
No.
No.
I mean, what are you going for there? Like those exact images, or like a
Depends what you're
3?
going for there.
Anything similar?
No, not really. Except
Okay.
if the subject is 3.
I mean, 3.
He's gonna reach down and pick up the journal. He's gonna drop Sab first onto the ground.
Ow.
And he's gonna pick up the journal.
Excuse me. That's mine. I believe would be advantageous. It's a lot of
Faisal.
very, very
Sorry,
weird
if you think
fan
it's gonna be
fiction.
helpful.
Probably got a
Go
lot of
ahead
stuff you
and
don't
read
remember writing in it.
journal.
Look for
It's not
anything
locked, is
about-
it?
It's not locked.
I will
down.
say, bit of a reference as to the kind of structure of the painting you remembered. Nothing of the contents, but it would look something like
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that.
A 3-parted
See if you
painting.
can find anything about Shelby or anyone.
I guess I'll read for information on the other members that I had a list of their names at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in that book.
All
So
right. So you open
Also,
up the
was
book,
it under a cipher?
and it's a bunch of gibberish.
Mm.
Do you just
could
like
potentially
how are you
interpret it.
looking through it though? Like
Are you
Uh,
gonna?
flipping through,
you're flipping through.
taking a quick glance at any page for anything
Probably roll
decipherable.
a steady check is needed.
Can you read me like the
Like
attributes of what is it, blueprints or?
I think
the-
it's well.
um,
Define the cipher is I think 4. Maybe you can check that, but this
think it
is
says
just
what
for
kind of check it
something
has to
else
be,
in the
too.
book,
right. Yeah.
which would be just kind of finding
Okay.
some pages. It's the best way to say it.
Yeah, so I guess study cleverly. Can I use perception for that?
No.
Okay.
You sure it's not a tinker check? I thought I remembered. it
Well, we're
saying
not trying to
this.
crack the. I'm not trying to crack
Not
the
trying to
journal.
crack
I
it.
think what he's telling me is I'm trying to find something else that's
Yeah.
not ciphered or
Depends
something
what you do.
Okay.
just based off of the way you were laying down.
Well, then as a separate check, can I see if I can figure out the notation of this, like what the cipher might be?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, it's only one success.
Okay.
It's like a 4 check.
Yeah, it is correct.
And since she's just flipping through it, can I say tinker swiftly?
Yeah.
Okay, because I fell
Good
across
case.
it. You found
1 success.
at least one thing. And I think it's yeah. So it's specifically this. So you find this page. At least.
Not in code.
No.
Mr. Barrett, I think you're going to want to read this.
What is it?
I feel like maybe don't. I mean, this was a lot of stuff. I wrote it in my youth. It was quite.
You might
In
be
my
interested
youth.
to see what's in there yourself.
Oh,
I suspect that you don't.
Would you read it out loud?
Terrible handwriting.
Hey.
Dear Lee, I don't have a light. Sorry about the bad handwriting. Oh, very good.
Well, you should admit to it.
I wanted to say T un
Do you want me to read it?
oh, I want to say to understand. I understand. I get how it feels. Like only yesterday. Like you can still smell the blood. Like how like how you wish sometimes that you had never meet them because then the cracked heart would be gone. I'm sorry about the people you have lost. I hope they have found peace and lie after the void.
Do you remember writing that?
That's it.
That's why I said you might be interested to see what's in them yourself.
What's going on?
Clearly, you've lost some sort of memory and you're back to a position that you'd had earlier in your life. But a lot of time has passed since then, and you just lost it because
My
there was this
goodness.
whole crazy war ritual that went terribly wrong for you specifically.
Anton, shh.
We're not lying to you. How would I have known
Can
Sherry's
I read
name?
that?
I guess I'll hold it up.
Who's Lee?
Lee Barrett.
You guys really drugged me, or
You drugged yourself, honestly.
It
That's how
wasn't
this whole
something,
mess started.
wasn't even drugs that we knew you had. Apparently, you'd stolen drugs.
doesn't sound like me.
It might be worthwhile to let him see the notebook and just let him read it, see if it jogs anything.
Mr. Barrett, would you be willing to uncuff him and guard him while he reads it? I want to give him some time to be able to reacquaint himself with the present age if we
Like-
can.
Let's clear these weapons out of the room first. On the ground.
Hmm.
And
Small
I'll
pile.
gingerly pick up the
I'm
spring
guessing
razors.
also the
Make
the
a
brass
tinker
knuckles are there
check.
too.
To pick up the spring razors?
don't touch those.
Right. If you know how to handle them better, go ahead.
Lee's going to risk it instead.
All right.
I do know how to handle those. If you need
Yeah,
help,
roll a tinker
No.
check.
just saying.
All right.
Just be careful, Mr. Barrett.
Alright.
Tinkering carefully. One success.
Yeah, it's fine. They're safe.
Okay.
I just want to mess with you guys.
Okay. So he takes them to another room, shuts the door, and then goes back in. And he's gonna look at Sab. All right, I'm going to uncuff you. Be careful. One wrong move, I will kill you.
Who did you lose?
It doesn't matter now. He's gonna uncuff you.
He hasn't shared that yet with anyone, as far as I know.
It's his own business.
Besides, if you don't even remember him, you wouldn't have the context.
What I know about you, what we were told, is that you used to work with these people, with Ergen, with Sherry, with, and then I'm gonna list off whatever the other names are that I know of. And they betrayed you. Something about a music box, about it seemed like you'd been in a lot of pain. And then there was something with the void. We weren't entirely sure what that was. Get
So
some
it
sort
kind
of
of puts down the book.
I don't know what happened after that, but then you were with us. Well, with me.
It's also worth knowing that you have some scars that you might not remember that you have at the moment.
And then he just kind of looks at his hand. What? What happened?
exactly is confusing about your hands?
You're looking for something.
I look horrible.
You've been through a lot.
No,
Like older or like less healthy or like you just got shot?
All of the above is
Whiter?
an option too.
Like what?
like I mean, it wasn't super dark, but like, have I never seen the sun?
I've asked myself that regularly.
Why am I so skinny? I mean, not slender, but this is.
We can talk about your body shape later. Just read your journal.
Apparently he
I can't
needs to
read the
eat
journal.
something.
I don't know what this is. It's
Just
just.
see if you can figure it out. I bet you'll have more luck than you expect.
Alright,
It is a 4.
here's the 4. Study carefully or cleverly. Sorry.
Can I like try to help with that?
Yeah, sure, you could assist.
Oh,
He got a natural. Oh man, that was a 7. Okay, so that would be.
I got a success
He figured it out.
on his own.
It's your cipher, man.
He straight up figured. Oh,
well, no. I
Even
mean,
if
he
you
got
don't
3
remember the
successes, and then you
cipher,
got the
it's
1.
still
Yeah.
yours.
So he, so Anton did help.
you'll see. It's like, but see, that's still making. No, but you see.
Wait,
that.
was that 4 successes?
That was 4 successes.
Okay, alright.
So
Why? Yeah, these kind
Just saying in the future, I might impose some difficulty of 6 checks. 5 is supposed to be like, you can't ever do it, and you guys did it, so, and you're already, like, not the highest level, so
Yeah.
there needs
I
to be,
mean,
like, an
that's
impossible
acceptable.
level.
that's fair. You can get it where you are almost guaranteed a success per die.
Yeah.
A really good chance of getting a critical success.
Mhm.
Do you understand it?
Yeah.
Is it telling you exactly what I told you? So as he throws his journal back down onto the floor, Heisel will lean down and pick it up.
You know what those are?
Got no clue.
Roll a void lore check.
Oh. Lucky day.
Can I look as well?
Heisel? Yes, then you can.
Holy moly! So this would be a
There's,
separate check, right?
For our listeners, we have been past a drawing with a couple of very strange, creepy looking Slenderman type void type
Weird.
creatures. I don't know.
Slenderman.
I'm still making heads or tails of it.
We
So I got-
just gonna be watching Sab.
I got a critical success on that check.
I got. Oh wait, I get to reroll one of those. That's worse. I got a success. So that's 2 combined.
Well,
Wait,
I got
no.
a critical success for me.
Wait, are there critical successes
Oh.
on assisting?
Well, I
He's
was
not
trying to
assisting.
do it for me
I misunderstood.
I was trying to figure it
Yeah,
out
So I have one in here too.
privately.
Okay, alright.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I just misunderstood.
Anton,
Probably should.
maybe you read a little bit about this kind of subject before, but there are definitely figures affected by the void. You know, this might have been a higher difficulty. Part of it is just, I feel like it would be harder for you to know versus Heisel, who has done a lot of reading on the void.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to need to retract that. You would not know, unfortunately.
You know what? I might use a. I might take this and study it again later.
That's
I
always an
don't
option.
suppose you know what those are. You're willing to tell us.
It's a lot warmer than
The void?
like you think. There just wouldn't be anything. So it'd be cold.
Warm like warmer than comfortable, or warm like
It just
not uncomfortably cold? Or
wasn't anything. So nice.
How did you get there?
It's after our
You're
Could
gonna
you
need to speak up a
see-
little bit for the for the stream.
It was
Thanks.
It was after Argon.
could you see anything in the void? Was it just nothing there too?
No, this is important first. How did you get there? You need a strand answer on this one.
What's that? Dang. Fox.
How did it send you to the void? We've talked about it before, but how did it send you to the void?
You think it something
Then what sent you to the void?
could send? What's this? He holds up one hand.
And how did that get you to the void?
It was pulling on it, trying to rip it right out, just out of me.
Rip
It
what?
was-
You should tell him. It's about time.
He pulls off his little boxing gloves they always have on, and you guys see this thing on his hand.
Which, if I remember right, is
The mark of the outside.
the
right?
mark of the outsider.
Yeah.
Something was trying to rip the mark of the old outsider off your hand and sucked you into the void?
Not quite. Started screaming, freaked the heck out, and then it just ran
What
back
ran?
to the void, I guess, and just pulled me along with them.
It being the thing that we saw
Mark.
in the journal.
Oh, the mark.
The mark screamed and ran of its own accord. That's not how these things work.
Can Lee go
That's
and
what
check
it
to make
felt
sure
like.
Grounder isn't listening? Like,
Yeah,
go
sure.
look at the door.
Just make a study check, difficulty of 1.
One success.
No, he's not there.
He's gonna close the door. Is the door soundproof?
Sebastian, do you remember now?
roughly?
Ish.
Okay.
It's metal walls. It's not the easiest to travel
Forever
through.
being there forever.
You don't remember coming back.
Just remember.
You need to speak up again, I'm sorry.
I just remember running or trying to sleep. Just doing something because there was either stuff there. It was like that.
Like the creature.
I couldn't think about any of it. Couldn't. There were things there that I didn't understand. And things that I thought I did that I just didn't. Thought I understood what a whale was. Why a whale was. And it's not. And I don't. And then when I fell asleep, there's nothing but these dreams. Nothing but fire, rage, and all this blood. So much blood.
You've been through an ordeal. And if I gather right, it's an ordeal that no one I know of has ever been through. It's no wonder if you're taking some time to deal with it and to piece it back together.
Can I tell you more about
I want to know. I'd like it if you did. Did you see anyone else while you were in there?
it? A lot of stuff. I don't remember people, if that's what you mean. I don't know if I knew if the outsider died. Whatever happened. I think I
Well,
felt it.
You would indeed have felt a
Oh yeah.
like
Well,
a
technically that happened later. Or wait.
you said,
Earlier. Sorry. We probably wouldn't have recognized
did
that.
it?
what year did the outsider die?
1852.
Well,
Okay.
you were just saying like
Then-
14 or whatever.
Yeah, so
so
yeah. He wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have said that. Because it would have already happened. It's like I remember less. I don't remember people. It just went on, and you really don't understand what a void is till you're in it, and you can't get out. And you just there again, sleep, just trying to walk as they go by, and you just it just never stops. There's no sun, there's no food, and you hear the ghost just screaming. That's what I thought I was dreaming when I came out. Just hit the water, nearly died. Had to swim ashore. Figure out where I was.
And then you came to Pandyskia to track down the people that did it to you.
No. I was fine. Finding out it had been 10 years was.
Only 10.
Didn't feel like 10. Didn't feel like 10 at all.
You said you remembered it being 1814. Do you know what year it is now?
Yeah.
That's more than 10 years. By a lot.
10 years. Oh. Hey guys.
Now you remember.
1960. Got out. Wait.
18.
18. Alright.
Still a bit jumbled.
1860. Came out 1870. Kind of just went around, went back home for a little bit. Then I don't know how I realized this, but I just felt the metronome, the tripping, the just time. I just felt it in my bones, like they were being eaten away. An ache. So I checked, talked, and I studied, and figured out what was going on.
And what was that?
I was dying. Am dying. Really, really fast.
How fast?
Year and a half, 2 maybe, something like that.
What does this have to do with music books? You said you were looking for it.
I can get the music box. Maybe I can fix this. Mark, me.
The mark needs fixed. Does it not do anything?
Nope.
It's
That's why it was screaming. Because it knew, I don't know how, whatever it, he, however you want to say it, it. Nope. I don't want this. I'm out of here. Tried to run, took me with it, came out. You're here for a few years, then you're back. Enjoy your time outside. You're never going out the second time.
Do you remember why you attacked me?
Yeah.
Why?
I basically was back. Like I never left. I knew it wasn't real. It's just a price. I don't know. I said yes, so
What caused it?
there's a voice. What are you willing to give?
I heard it. What did you tell it?
A long-winded request. Exactly that translate to go burn in the void. But then saw the picture. And then you after. But I don't know what that would mean.
Sebastian,
I
you understand this is serious, don't you? What you just did.
yeah, I understand. Serious. I was back then when I came out. I was running with the ghosts again. So I wondered why I was tied up. Heck is the guy on the ground. See you. Assume doing an operation.
What do you mean by that?
We stole stuff. We took out bases. We
And you thought I was what? Someone catching you?
yeah, basically. One of the rebels.
We understand you've been under a lot of stress. You've been through things that would crumble most people's minds and seems to have crumbled your mind.
Wish I had.
But what proof do we have that this isn't going to happen again, Sebastian?
No. Right. Promise. Up to you. Maybe a stronger rope for one. Yeah, you guys are a little fast, so I didn't get to ask you over that. But
Is this yeah, not good?
yeah, it's not good. And I'm not saying Hazel, just know that
Uh,
Oh, sorry.
no, I'm sorry. Just give me a second to read this, and I'll read it out loud.
Okay.
So, okay. The page that we were just shown in Sebastian's diary is a letter to Mikhail. And it says, Dear Mikhail, thank you for hosting us while we were in town. It was wonderful reading your story and enjoying your hospitality and company. My reasons for writing this are for the following. I would like to apologize for implying you and Heisel were in a relationship. I did not mean to imply anything dishonorable or unprofessional in your relationship. I am glad you're about to watch her back. I'm sorry, as for our disagreement about a person's character, I hope we can agree on it one day. Also, she was on my best ever list, too. I hope writing goes well. Let me know if you need ideas. From Sab Grillos. P.S. I hope you find your princess across the seas or whatever you are looking for. I will keep Heisel safe.
No. That's just words.
It's just words, and words need to be backed up. But the words are sweet.
This was a kind of a strange circumstance. Do you think you could just refrain from messing with anything like this again?
Well, what was it that caused it? Was it the voice itself?
Well, we don't necessarily want to trigger that voice again. I mean, it wasn't Leo, was it?
No, I don't think so. Not with that.
And if we try the ritual again,
It's not the way I normally hear him, at any rate.
well, we would hope that it would be Leo talking the way he's supposed to sound,
I'm not
not
saying we're
whatever the
trying
voice
to.
was. So if it was the voice, then we're not trying to get that again anyway.
No, I'm just asking, was that what it was?
Sab, you do know what the voice was. It's a little hard to reflect intonation with one voice, but it was the voice of the Spike.
Well, it was Spike. I can tell you that.
The Spike was speaking to us.
Whispering. Here to help. What would you give? Not super intelligent. Just sort of basics. If that makes sense. Not
And it brought you
necessarily-
back. And it gave you a vision.
It was kind of more the. Maybe it was that. It was the void thing. Just. Why are we taking stuff that's literally from the void?
Well, it was your decision to take that. I can assume that you're not going to do that again. Besides, my stash was done over the side of the ship.
Sorry. That was very hard for me.
Sebastian.
I think it was the void. Just being back. Just I was back. I don't know.
Do you want to stay with us?
Oh, I want that moment.
There's going to be some conditions.
Makes sense. Tell us
Mr. Barrett, feel free to add on if you can think of any, but there's no more void fiend for you, for one thing. You stay as far away from that as physically possible.
Mhm.
You're not around if I try anything like this again, if I try to tap into the void or do anything of the sort, since it's set you off before.
Fair.
And you listen. If we tell you you're going too far, you pay attention to that. You got it?
Additionally, you're going to have to earn trust back. I don't feel safe leaving you with any weapons for now.
He is also not capable of running.
Still,
Yeah. It was a big wound.
Mhm.
and know that if you break these conditions at all, regardless if anything happens, we're leaving the group. If you try to attack any one of us ever again, I will not show you any mercy. I will kill you.
Surprised he didn't kill me. That's an opportune moment.
Commander asked us if we wanted to. We didn't. Which is why you're still here.
All said?
Hmm?
You all said don't shoot the psychopath that just tried to kill you.
I mean, it's not like you didn't get shot.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
More like don't execute. But I mean, maybe that's just semantics.
The point is, this is the first time something like this has, well, happened with us at the very least. We needed to know more, and now we do.
Doesn't. This is no. It's really weird.
Are you willing to agree to the terms we've given you?
What happens when we catch up with the ghosts? The box or stuff like that. You guys say, no, Sab, don't stab him through his stinking throat. What then?
Then you handle it our way. I'd like to see you get close to them without us.
You've also seen what happens when someone takes a vengeance path. First time I ever saw you, you just were at a trial of someone who got executed for something like that.
Do you have any idea of what I just talked to you about? Do you have
I
any idea what it's like
understand.
being alone and isolated and just not existing? Stuck. I had to listen to the voices of people screaming.
Sebastian?
They couldn't get out.
Sebastian!
Hey guys, how's it going? You guys are a little loud in here. LG would be popping in.
We're fine.
What's going on?
What terms?
LG. We'd appreciate it if you give us a minute longer. I'll talk to you about this later, alright? I owe you a conversation anyway.
All right, I owe all of you a conversation as well. We got time for that, but
We'll be down in a minute.
okay. I have something quick to say. Needs to be said. Please don't try that again with the spike. I just had to clean up that whole ritual marker thing that you guys did up there. It's kind of just alerted everyone with a connection to a spike to where we are. But I mean,
Scrounger
thankfully-
keeping watch.
oh yeah, no, we're fine. Just be very glad we're not on the ground right now and in a constantly moving vessel. Person with a connection to spike just gets a vision of like the surrounding area. So
Really? They're connected like that?
yeah, it was like a sort of SOS beacon thing that we intended to use if someone with a spike. Actually, we kind of put it in place because if someone was trying to misuse the spike, we know where they were at, which
I
is
see.
the case.
There are
Yes.
ways we could use that.
In any case, I don't think we're going to be doing that exact ritual ever again.
Okay. Yeah, just wanted to be clear. It's probably not the best idea.
It's good to know.
Mm-hmm. Guaranteed
It's
though, Ren's
information that
gonna
would have been
be
helpful earlier.
Ren's gonna be pretty salty.
When is she
prob-
not?
No, I mean like she was probably in the middle of something and then she got a vision of you guys. So gonna leave. You know what? You'll do fine.
She's never not been mad at us. This isn't much of a change.
Yeah, that's fair. Just try not to meddle with it again.
We'll have a conversation with you later about it.
Yeah, sounds good. You all feel confident just keeping it around with you?
Yes.
I mean, kind of need
All
to
right.
keep it around.
I want to leave that nice and open to you. It's well, I mean, it was planted on your persons, but guys, I've grown a little bit attached to it, and that's fine. But just don't do anything stupid with it.
LG, we're attached to it as security more than anything else.
All right. Well, if you want security, don't mess with it. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be as nice as possible with this, but it's kind of dangerous. So just take her easy.
Of course.
No more rituals. Okay? Gotta put my foot down somewhere.
No more rituals unless we discuss it. And it ends up being advantageous for you.
All right.
I've
I
got
can
some
agree to
ideas.
those terms. All right. Have fun with this.
Yeah.
And he backs out of the room awkwardly.
Bye, LG.
Sebastian.
Listen, they're not bad terms. I think they're good terms. I really, really, really on kind of all of them.
You mean Arvin?
Oh, sorry. You're fine. You're fine. Argon. Bleh, I'm tired. Yeah, I really, 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 really don't like him. And I mean, he's not necessarily shining hope of optimism and joy. Kind of just, killed for a living, not necessarily caring who he killed for. obviously.
Sebastian. I know that more than anyone. The desire to get revenge. And I'm sure that these people all do deserve it. Perhaps more than most. But I also know that in my experiences, I've also had people do things to me, including your old traveling companion, Mr. Valentine, or Reed as you know him. And even after his death, even though I didn't get to do it, it didn't bring closure. And all those years I spent wanting revenge only ate me up inside. I also know that I've done things in the war that would even bring the desire for revenge against me and many people. And know that whatever you decide to do, revenge will cost you greatly.
We've talked to you about this before, Sebastian. The more time you allow them to control you, whether that's the way they did before or the way they're doing it now, the less of a life you have left to live.
They're still out there, though.
Then we'll go after them and we'll deal with them. And if it turns out that it's going to be best for them to be killed, then we'll help you. We'll get you the music box.
I guess if we get the music box, deal with this. Bye-bye to you all. Then I go and do whatever. Does that sound good?
Again, if you agree to our terms.
Okay. No drugs.
No drugs. No rituals.
You sound like my mom.
No weapons.
No way. You sound exactly like.
And you listen to us. If we tell you too far, it's too far.
What's that? Spring razor. No.
It's not a weapon. I just leave it around and people walk into it. And then they die.
It's more like a Lego brick.
Yes.
Or a
Spring razor
D4.
equals Lego brick.
Enough. It's enough.
We
But
need to, what?
we'll talk about it.
Yes.
This entire time, Bill Sokolov has just been staring at you. If that would make sense for Bill.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna back up a couple of steps,
You're a good dog.
pet Bill's head, say, anyway, there, two of you can do what you want. I need to go talk with LG again.
I will say, Sab, you're probably gonna need a crutch to walk around.
Yeah. I'll just
So
drag myself. It's fine.
that secret compartment is still in the wall that we found before.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still a safe there.
Like, not putting me in that.
It is not that big.
Starts crawling away as fast as he can.
Hold it. With the spike being as dangerous as it is, do you think it'd be wise to store it somewhere else? Perhaps in the safe?
Is it wise to leave it somewhere that's been ransacked before?
I understand your point, Mr. Barrett, and I think you might be right, actually. My only concern is that, well, the reason I keep it on me in the first place is on me is the only place I can personally safeguard.
Yes. However, I'm responsible to keep you safe, and the more I hear about this spike, and the more we interact with it, the more danger it seems to put you in. And as long as we don't tell Grounder, he's gonna look out the door and see.
He's still not there. You
Okay.
won't have to roll. I can just confirm.
Okay. As long as Grounder and LG don't know that you don't have it on you, we can perhaps safely leave it here for the rest of the voyage, in case anything happens, like pirates or anyone comes and intercepts us on our way there.
It is a pretty hidden area. I think, if I remember correctly, the only way that you found it earlier was through the Hastings device. I think. So,
That makes sense.
I know there's that one gun, but
All right, Mr. Barrett. We can put it there if you want, if it makes you feel safer.
So he's gonna put it in there, and
I also do not remember what the combination is, but you all would probably remember it.
we're gonna lock the safe up.
I just
As
need
soon
to
as we
know
know
this
the combination.
this is important.
I'm gonna guess A13.
Yes.
I don't know. You guys just keep
No,
going.
well,
I'll just look around.
I know there was a 2 and a 9 in it.
I'm going to go talk to LG.
Whoops.
I'll see you all later.
Mm.
So I'm gonna go.
When you start walking that direction, actually, all of you would hear a kind of crackled. Hey, just to let you all know, we're gonna land in about probably an hour. So, gonna start the descent. So, maybe don't be in a precarious position. Might be shifting around a little bit, but I think we'll be fine.
Thanks, Allison. So I guess we're gonna go sit this out with LG then.
You would find him at the top deck. Actually, still in the room where you all had the ritual. Just he's just got a brush and he is just stroking the chalk outline.
Why don't you let me?
Thanks.
My mess, my cleanup.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
really hurts to bend over. So that's
Just sit down somewhere and take care of yourself, all right?
okay. I'll just sit on this comfortable piece of rubble here. That's pretty much all there is in the room, but he's okay.
It's
He's
better
fine.
than what used to be in here.
Don't know what that means, but I
It's true though.
LG,
yeah.
why'd you hold out from us about the spike?
I didn't really know about who you were, and to be perfectly honest, I probably should have just reversed the curse myself when you guys weren't watching, but yeah, I mean, protective policy is to be vague as possible when asked about important matters such as this, and well, that is what I was doing. I just wanted to play it safe, and I mean, I was planning on doing it anyways. I didn't really know about the curse that much, and Ren told me that you all were under it. We think of it more of a link than a curse, but I mean, it will
Call
kill
it
you.
whatever name you want.
Yeah.
Why do you think of it as a link?
Because there's the boon with it.
And what is the boon? I never
Alright.
actually found that out.
Well, they're connected to each other, so it's a sort of guidance thing. Sometimes it'll give some sort of visions guiding to the other ones. Sometimes it will. I've heard that they kind of put you in touch with your own desires, but it's a bit fluid.
Is that what it did with Sebastian and Tom back there?
Oh, what happened to them? Well, I mean, I saw them unconscious, and I know that the kid tried to kill everybody. That's first.
He said he was under the impression he was in his past. And that's something he's desired, I guess. And Anton had a vision. I need to ask him more about it, but why wouldn't it have affected me, do you think?
Did it say anything to you?
It asked what we wanted and what we were willing to give.
What'd you say?
I said what I wanted, which at the time was to see Leo during the ritual.
Mm-hmm. Wait, sorry, did you say it also asked for, like, the cost thing?
Mhm.
So, what'd you say to the cost question?
Whatever it wanted.
I don't think I've heard of it asking for a cost before. That's weird. Well, I mean, Leo is in the void right now as an outsider. And as an outsider, he's probably above just what a spike might dictate. There's a bit of a limit to just the material world with those spikes. It's not like you could just point someone to a location in the void. It's impossible to map.
They can't be used in that way.
Not really.
I see.
But given what happened to those two gents, it might have been good that you didn't get any sort of vision.
The language on them. I still want you to teach me.
Well, void language, which we should really have come up with a better name for it, is incredibly complex, and unfortunately, I don't know very much about it.
Then teach me what you do know.
What I know is relating to the spikes. And that being said, I don't really know what your angle is. I mean, I know enough to uncurse you if that's what you want, but
Ren does. And she trusts me, even if she keeps me at arm's length.
that's I'm not sure if that's a. Listen, I gotta find out for myself. We're protectors. We're independent. Just because one person does something doesn't mean we all have to do it. So,
It struck me Ren was in charge.
no. What gave you that impression?
She acted like it.
She's not in charge. There's no one that's in charge.
So you can do whatever you want.
No, we have a code of conduct, but
What's the code of conduct?
okay. And he would rehearse this without flinching.
Wow.
This is great. I just wrote this the other day.
Timely.
Yep. 1. Above all else, defend the throne of the Empire of the Isles. Honor the reigning monarch
Isn't
and
that
defend
a-
them from all false and unworthy claims. 2. Following this, defend the people of the Empire of the Isles. You are to seek the preservation of life, happiness, and the rights of individuals in every quarter of this great federation. 3. You are to use proportionate force on the foes that inhibit those two goals. Our empire's justice weakens in 2 ways. We are too harsh on the innocent, and we are too easy on the guilty. Respond adequately to the situations you are placed in. 4. Guard the secrets of the empire closely. Always be prepared to vanish if necessary, and cloud your true intentions with every word, unless you are with truly trustworthy folk. There you go.
Wow.
So which do you think I am? Innocent or guilty?
I mean, you did just try to use the spike to summon an outsider. It's not like innocent, but it's not quite guilty, so somewhere in between probably. I mean, we've got no problem with the whole outsider worship, I guess.
I don't worship him.
Oh, kind of obsessed over him.
What's kind
You're
of
not here.
You are not
I'm
here.
not here. What? I'm on the floor. Actually, that probably is what's happening. Like, oh no, he was like,
They are.
oh no,
They're in a.
guys.
They're in a closed
Oh
off room.
no, fine, okay, I'm going to my
Well,
room.
it's. I mean, you just did a ritual, and you said you were in a. What of the Forgotten?
A cult.
And what do cults do?
Pursue aims together.
That could be like an organization. Cults are distinctly religious. They involve some degree of worship, right?
No,
No.
not really. At least not the one we were building, you and I.
Sounds like you were running a non-profit then.
It's outsider related. It's void related. Everyone called it a
Okay,
cult.
void related. I mean, I was in a void related organization, but
You were?
yeah,
Which one?
the Protectors. Wow.
Well,
I
you're
was-
not exactly void related.
Listen, I was a student in the
political.
Academy of Natural Philosophy, and we did a whole lot of research into the void. But that doesn't make me a cultist. And we were an organized body pursuing distinctive aims. Not a cult.
Your aims weren't void related.
Hmm?
We were trying to establish a new outsider.
Oh, I mean, we had void related aims.
Like what?
Oh, we were. Most of what we were researching was just how to stop the whole like void tear things.
Right.
Happened
Right. Yeah.
way back when. That was a big interest. Any sort of research into artifacts or the void language or anything like that was kind of tied into that. Kind of.
So you're saying it's something you could get at the academy?
Hmm.
Instruction about void language.
Not anymore.
Why not?
It's not there anymore.
Oh,
Organizers
yeah.
took it over.
Hmm.
Dissolved. They might have established their own.
But it was more or less common knowledge among those who pursued it.
No, I was in what you might call a specialized division of the Academy of Natural Philosophy.
You're more interesting the more questions I ask, LG.
And it's good to know that you are getting less culty the more that I know about you.
Have you read about the Cult of the Forgotten?
Oh yeah, I've heard about your goals. Again, that's why I use the word non-profit. You guys are trying to do good things. I respect that.
So you know we're not one of those sorts of cults,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
which would therefore imply that I'm not worshipping Leo.
Yeah. Yeah, some cults just gather around some sort of compelling individual. Whether that was Leo or you, I've yet to decide.
Leo.
Okay.
Though I've taken over pretty well in his absence. I like to think, at least.
I mean, I've heard of you, so
You've heard of me.
do my research.
You've been.
Undecided. But we'll see.
Well, LG,
Hmm?
I guess if Bren's not in charge, you're a good person to talk to.
Oh, I'm not in charge either.
Well, as much as anyone is. I want to help you. The protectors. I don't want to be a protector, obviously. But I think we could be mutually
I have
advantageous to each other.
forms. No.
Or maybe a neutral party that you could use in luring out some of the others.
What do you mean, like the other spikes?
Yeah.
You are, as I said, not quite innocent, not quite guilty. You could go between with those sorts of parties.
I could easily bluff my way through it.
Hmm.
Get in somewhere, get out of somewhere, get you what you want. Maybe even get the spikes.
Hmm.
If we were to use the linking property again.
Well,
Lure people in for an ambush, we could figure out who has them, right?
yeah.
That's sort of a different thing.
That's actually my lead that I have here. Kind of.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I've laid a trap. And it's a pretty good one.
Well, LG didn't tell me we're a schemer.
I'm a schemer when it's required. Mostly prefer books, but this was a good project. I got to make something.
Well, tell me about it. You're gonna have to anyway when we land, right?
Am I? Well, listen. What I need to clarify first is that the Protectors, one of our cohesive interests, I guess you could say, is cutting off the influence of the Void on this world.
Hmm.
Is that something you can side with? What would be your ideal? Listen, we're not the Abbey. We just all of reality was nearly torn to shreds way back when, and we don't want that to happen again. If that makes
I'm
sense.
the last person who'd want that to happen again.
Yeah, you're from Alba, right?
I was 7 when it happened.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
No one came out of it unscathed. I understand that bad things happen sometimes when people get a bit too eager.
Hmm. That is exactly the position of the Protectors. There's too many eager people out there.
What I want, LG, is not directly in opposition to what you do, even on that front. I have things I want from you, from your organization, things that you know, things that you've come across that I haven't yet. Now that I'm not connected to the spike, and that's not payment that you can give us anymore, I want to make a different deal with you.
Okay, what's the deal?
I'll continue to help you out. When I know a bit more specifically about how I could do that, we'll set specific terms, but you know more about Leo's current status than you know some parts of it that I don't, actually.
Really? But you're the one that's in touch with him, aren't you?
He doesn't tell me much. Not always. It's a vague thing.
Make a talk check. Deception. Or boldly.
At this point, sadly, wins over to the clown because I have to go to bed. I don't know if I can make it there.
Sure.
Please don't.
2 successes?
Don't what?
I'm a little afraid he might want to kill me.
That's
So, tasting my blood. It's usually the first step.
So
Bill is not vicious.
he
Do
doesn't.
you guys want to? Sorry, we can take a pause for a minute if you want to. Go.
Oh, Stab wants to go to bed, and he's like, "Can Bill not come with us?" Implying that he's gonna eat him or gonna get eaten.
You were attacking me, and Bill was only protecting me. And as long as you're not attacking me, Bill's not going to do anything.
And I'm not gonna shoot you.
Okay.
So you just don't attack me, and Bill will be fine to go with.
Okay. Follow that logic.
There are plenty of rooms on this boat, so it's very easy for you all to have your own room.
Goes
These-
to a specific.
Body pile room.
Can get a body pile.
Body pile room. Okay.
I'm gonna
Excellent.
give
Closest
him
to the
back.
aft.
I'm gonna give him back all his
Stern.
non-weapon
Shoot.
stuff, like his money and stuff.
Yay! Alright, as the door closes, Seth crawls over to the bed, gets into it, reaches under the cushions, takes out his little baton thing, and sticks it into
Oh, the cudgel?
Oh, then he takes it out, he puts it under the bed. Well, at least I'm not alone.
Did you? What?
he had stored a cudgel under the bed. Like,
You did do that.
it's
Yeah.
fine. I'll just leave it there. I don't need it. But if I need it, I will.
Just
You're going to
pass
bed?
He
out.
just honks
You
out.
guys are landing in like
Cat
40
nap.
minutes.
He's had a
Well, you
day.
What's that?
You can have a nap.
That's
He's
a
had a
little bitty
day.
nap.
I had a 10-minute nap last night.
I was gonna say you're one to talk.
I know, yeah.
So,
What, you're gonna sleep for less
Seth
than
will
an
be
hour?
out.
What?
Let me know if someone tries to wake him up.
Yeah.
Will
You need to
do.
take a minute.
Yeah.
So I I got 2 successes on that check with LG.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of information are you looking for?
Anything you got on him? Honestly, actually, this entire multiple outsider situation, I'm a bit vague on. I want free access to some of the resources you have. Well, not free, you know, I don't want to spill all your secrets or anything like that, but it's of personal importance to me to figure out more.
To be honest, I was really hoping that Rin would be here for this lead that I've got. And it would be very good to have someone other than Grounder present at it. We need someone with finesse.
Finesse I can do.
Alright. And Brawn. We might need that. So,
Well,
the rest of your group might be perfect for this kind of thing.
yeah. And I think they'll follow if I ask them to.
Well, how's it going? I'm in a bit of a pickle here. Because, as you just heard in my little credo right there, that all projectors have to say, that we have to guard the Empire's secrets from people that aren't for the Empire, I guess.
I'm not against the Empire.
Yeah. I don't know why on earth Wyman decided to say trustworthy folk. That is pretty broad. I guess that could be someone that isn't necessarily Imperial, but...
So consider this me proving myself trustworthy to you. If that's how you like to think about it.
Yeah. That works.
I want to know about Leo, about the other outsiders, about anyone who may have had contact with him. Do you know anything with Variety? Well, I guess after this goes down well.
Another thing I want to put on the table. Earlier you said you wanted the spike for security. What do you mean by that?
I mean security from you, frankly.
From me?
Well, not you personally,
Oh.
all your protectors. Without, oh, I mean, you said it yourself in your credo. Ready to vanish at any moment.
Right.
If I didn't have the spike on me, it would be very easy for you to take it and do what you do best. And leave us in the lurch.
That's not security, though. If you didn't
It's-
have the spike, we wouldn't have any need of...
It's security against you leaving.
So you're that kind of negotiator.
I'm the kind of negotiator that gets what she wants. Most of the time. Not because I'm deceptive, but because I know how to help other people get what they want.
Well, it's kind of good that the protectors don't want all the spikes in exactly one place. We
Really?
want all of them, but we don't want all of them in one place. That's a bad idea.
Why is it a bad idea?
Because then somebody gets all of them.
Do they do something? Something more than what we've seen when they're all together?
Not that I really know of, but the fact that they're all tethered together and are all leading towards each other, something's got to be said about that.
And you've never been curious.
Yeah, I've been curious.
I thought so.
Fortunately, not my domain.
You've
But
got
if you've got
self-control,
anything,
LG.
what's that?
You've got self-control, LG. I'm sure they're glad of it.
What kind of self-control?
I mean, you're curious.
Hmm?
You want to know.
Hmm?
And yet you're not prying. You're not looking for more. You're not
Oh
going
no,
deeper.
no, I don't have self-control. I absolutely would pry if I had somewhere to pry from. I just,
Your organization doesn't
No.
know either.
unfortunately, not.
Ren told me you're the ones who created them.
The Empire did. And the Empire really isn't around anymore. It's kind of like a protector thing that we say it's still around, but we're kind of the only people representing it. But
Bit of a tough position to be in.
yeah. There's
Big
different
rules,
philosophies
too.
on it. People like Grounder, for example, would want to take Empress Emily and march straight to Dunwall and try to reestablish the Empire. And people like me, sure, that probably be good, but What can we do to do that? It's just too far gone at this point.
So you're left doing what?
Protecting.
Protecting who?
Well, that's one thing that most protectors agree upon, is that clause said we have to protect the people of the Empire. That's everybody, even if the Empire's still not around. They're still all members of the Isles.
So you're just public do-gooders then?
Yeah, you could say that. But with some optimized goals. Again, we still do want to reestablish the throne.
I'm just you're not sure practically how.
Yeah. Part of it is just expanding our influence, but I gotta say, I don't think you possessing the spike will necessarily grant security. There will be people chasing after you quite a bit, and some of them are very dangerous.
You misunderstood when I said security. I meant security.
I know,
you
from me.
leaving. That's all.
From us, yeah. From us leaving with them.
And with the information I want.
Right, all I'm saying is that it might be better for you in the long run to not have to deal with that.
I'm prepared to experience those difficulties.
Is that the same for the rest of your party?
I'll ask them.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing what they think.
Mr. Barrett's job is to stick with me, so I'm pretty sure he'll keep doing it. I think
Even if it's something that might jeopardize your own safety. I was your bodyguard.
he couldn't
know
tear me
about
away
that.
from this if he tried.
Alright, fair enough. You do seem like a woman of very strong resolve. If anything.
Well, I appreciate it.
Mm.
And I'm pretty sure Anton and Zab will stick around. They've got their own things they want to do that we'll figure out along the way.
Yeah, makes sense.
By the way, about the Zab thing.
Mm.
We've disarmed him.
Okay.
We've ensured nothing like this is going to happen again, but he's going to continue to travel with us.
Alright.
Just so you're sort of in the loop on that.
You said he was kind of in a past form kind of thing?
The Void gave him what he wanted, or the Spike gave him what he wanted, and what he wanted was to be someone that he had been, I think, is how to explain it. There's
Void
a lot.
gave it? Yeah.
Well, the Spike gave it to him, if I gather what happened correctly.
Wait, it like altered his mind?
I guess, I don't know. I
That's-
can't think of anything else it would have done. That,
Dang it. Notebook.
your book.
Notebook. Sorry, that's just part of that curiosity. That's new. I haven't heard about the Spike changing any intentions or knowledge of anything like that. Pretty cool.
You know, I think we get along well, LG.
Yeah. Except in the fact that you're afraid of me taking the Spike and vanishing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't mean to take any offense from it. It's just, I know people too well.
Hmm.
People as a whole.
And what do you know about me?
I know you're mysterious. You're... No, not like that. I know you think
That's
you're a
the
lot
cultist.
cooler than you are.
I have a very humble opinion of myself.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm probably the most humble person I know.
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're curious about a lot of the same things I'm curious about.
Mm-hmm.
I know you want to do good. You're not really sure how. A lot of times. Mostly just stuff you told me, directly or indirectly.
There you go. Well, you can listen. So it's a pretty good feature.
That's most of what persuasion is.
Interesting angle. Maybe I need to listen more often.
You find it a lot when you do.
You should probably talk to Grounder about this whole Sab issue. He probably needs to know as well.
I'll tell him.
What's your read on him?
I haven't sat down and had a tete-a-tete with him like this. But, he's weathered. He's been through a lot. Come out the other side with a sense of humor and tact, which says something about him. He seems old-fashioned, from what you've said. Bit idealistic. Maybe he thinks with his guns rather than with his head. Sometimes. I don't know. There's a lot more to learn about Grounder, I think. About you too. But
It's always something new about Grounder.
What do you think of him?
Well, what you said about the sense of humor is probably the truest thing that's ever been said, but he's smarter than people give him credit. He's blundering, but I think he might do that on purpose. Not sure.
To throw people off? Make them expect
somewhat.
a little less than he is?
Yeah.
It's a tactic.
I mean, I heard about the whole Sep situation back in Sunline. That he played his card as some aging assassin, and Sab bought it.
He's a bit naive.
Yeah. Well,
LG,
yes.
are you willing to teach me as much as you know about the void language with this agreement in mind?
Oh, I forgot the deal. Sure, but I'd probably make you pledge something, not
Pledge
to
what?
misuse this.
That's a very broad term.
Yeah. Let's see here. Conditions. Don't do that ritual that you just did.
Sure.
That unless consulting with me, kind of what you said earlier. Don't. Don't put the curse on anybody else without conferring with me.
Sure.
That's again one of the things I know how to do. So don't do that. And don't try to do anything that opens a connection to the void with it. Whether that's putting yourself in contact with someone else or opening a door to the void.
That's a hard term to agree to.
Listen, I just removed the curse on you. I think I should have some tip for this tat.
I could agree to everything for the last one. And I could tell you before I tried to do anything that would open up a connection and consult with you first. But that's a major part of the reason I want to learn the void language.
What exactly do you want?
I want to make it so everyone can hear Leo like I do.
Are you sure that's what Leo wants?
It's what he wanted. No, I can't tell.
I think Leo can talk to who he wants to.
I owe it to the version of him I used to know to try to carry out our goals.
All right. I don't necessarily agree with that goal, but as long as you consult with me before doing such things, if you get my approval, then you can go ahead with it.
I'll consult with you. And I'll be as reasonable as I can, but I can't put myself under your permission.
Heisel, I just told you about what the protectors are for, especially what we're concerned about with the void. If someone is doing something that is dangerous, that could bring increased chaos to this world, that commitment comes above all else.
So if I do that,
Yep,
stop me.
that's the plan.
But I can't tell you I'm going to wait for your permission on everything. Just that I'll bring it to you first.
All right. I could agree to that, I think. You're probably pulling some loophole if you're such a good negotiator, but I have my own jurisdiction and I can do what I want, so.
Then, I do so pledge. None more forgotten.
What's. Oh, that's the cult thing. Okay.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, no offense, but you probably would not make a good protector.
I wouldn't want to be one.
Yeah.
What makes you say that anyway? Just a void thing.
Yep, just the thing. And the none more forgotten thing. I mean, we like that, but that just sounds cool. But
Oh, I was in gold.
you're not in a cult presently?
I am a cult presently.
You are a cult. Heisel, you change my definitions in nearly every single sentence.
I'll take it as a compliment. I'm gonna go talk to Grounder.
All right. Maybe bring the rest of your group
Yeah,
up here if you want to talk about what I had planned.
sure.
Very cool.
I'm sure it is.
All right, where you going?
I'm gonna go find the rest of them and tell them, all right, rest of you, we'd better, plan before Jasmine. LG's got something to tell us. Before that, we should probably talk to Grounder about what's going on with Sab.
What's going on with our landing?
LG's got a lead for us. Probably better for us to know what we're doing going into it instead of just, floundering around down there.
What are we doing exactly?
There's the third spike, I think. We're
So,
interested in getting it from whoever has it.
so
So LG knows where it is and who has it and how we're gonna get it back.
but I thought
You
you
didn't
were
quite
already,
say that, but
I thought you were already untethered or whatever, disconnected from the spike that you had.
There's still more I want from the protectors. Actually, I kind of wanted to talk to you about that, both of you. I personally am going to stay with the protectors for the time being because we can be mutually helpful to each other. But keeping the spike on us is going to be a risk. It's going to bring people down on us potentially. Neither of you are obligated to stay, regardless of what Kenrick said. I can give him a talking to that'll get him to take you off my case if that's what you prefer. And you have no real need to stay with me if you don't want to. I'm giving you the option.
This
Get out
is,
if you want to.
are you absolutely determined to make my job as difficult as possible?
I don't want to, Lee. I didn't even ask for you to be assigned to me, though. I'll admit it, I'm glad that you have been. But there are things that I need to do and things that I need to learn, and the protectors are the way that I do that right now.
Protectors are an organization of spies. They hide their intentions from us and from each other. I frankly can't quite trust them, and I
And they
feel
can't
that
quite trust me. We're on a
They-
bit of an even playing ground there.
I don't think we are. What's to keep them from killing us once they've gotten all that they can from us?
Leverage.
We know so much. We know about the spikes. We know about Ren, LG, and Grounder, and or loose ends that I don't think they would hesitate to tie up once they've gotten everything they want from us. Especially Ren.
You have a point. So, we get a leg up on them. We find a way to get some leverage.
How?
Right now, the spike. That at least ensures they stick around. I don't know about much else, but and right now us being useful to them. And by the end of it, I'll come up with something better, some other way to make it worse for them if we're off, if we're dead than if we're alive.
We can't do everything they say. We can't
course
go
not.
wherever we can't go wherever they tell us to. We need to be unpredictable enough that they can't find an advantageous position to take the spike by force.
We're not puppets. We're partners at this point.
I wonder that sometimes.
You have something to say, Mr. Barrett?
you would hear footsteps approaching.
For another time.
So, would you all mind updating me on what happened with your young friend?
He's sticking with us under some very specific conditions. No drugs, no rituals, no weapons. He's gonna be disarmed. And he has to do what we say, or listen to us at the very least.
Would you mind telling me what actually happened with him?
I was talking with LG about that actually. Kind of interesting conversation. He thinks, well, the spike has a boon to it, right? It connects you with your personal desires.
Mm-hmm.
We think it did it with him during the ritual. Attached him to who he used to be before, some things that he underwent that he wished he hadn't.
The spike,
gave him what he wanted, and what he wanted was killing you?
What he wanted was to be someone who would have.
Why is he still alive then? If he wanted to be a person that killed you.
He wanted to be himself before some things had happened to him. Turns out he's better for those things.
It's not going to happen again. It was a one-time thing. It was very specific circumstances.
And we're going to safeguard those from not happening again. If he breaks any of the rules we laid for him, we're going to leave him in a gutter somewhere.
After I kill him.
I think that was implied, but yes.
Fair enough.
Now, we should all go find LG. Talk about his lead.
Hmm.
He's
yes, we
pretty
should.
impressed by it.
Ooh, very interesting. He's kind of impressed about everything. That's kind of him. As long as he did it, of course.
Versus you.
Oh, I am not impressed. I can always be better.
Noble attitude.
What's that?
That's a noble attitude.
Well, would be nice to be proud of something, but accuracy should always be pursued. High accuracy. Okay, let's go check out what Helgi has to say.
So I guess.
Just wondering, where would you guys want to meet?
Um,
This is kind of random. It doesn't matter. But
maybe the room LG and I had our conversation in.
all right,
Where
sure.
we had the ritual. That seems like a good enough meeting room. Or maybe the one right outside there.
That room has had a lot of traffic
It
today.
really has.
It's
Yep.
got a lot of traffic throughout its lifetime, I'm sure.
We need to burn that room to the ground.
We can't burn just one room of an airship.
I know. That's why I haven't done it yet.
You could ship of Theseus just replace every part of the room so that isn't really the old room anymore.
Yeah.
No, the answer is no.
Just pour bleach on every
you
single
go.
part of the room.
There you go. Smart.
Does bleach
Well, is
exist
the
in
actual thing
summer
or the
universe?
idea of the thing better?
What's
That's a
that?
good
Is
question.
the actual thing or the idea of the thing better?
The idea of the thing is worse than the actual thing.
Then no, it's not the same room.
There you
If
go.
the idea is better, then the idea of the room remains unchanged. No matter how much you switch out the parts. The conception of the room is the same thing.
There you go.
We need to completely change it.
All right. You all would gather around this
Putting
very
flower
busy.
pink wallpaper.
Anton's room.
Oh, man.
I like how I said flower pink wallpaper. And you immediately were like, Anton.
Well, it's not Heisel's room.
That's fair.
Definitely not Lee's.
Yeah, doesn't seem like a Lee or a Sap kind of vibe. It doesn't really seem like an Anton kind of vibe, but it seems like less of a rest of us kind of vibe.
Lee, what
That's
color
fair.
do you want your walls to be? Reinforced steel. Bulletproof. That's not a
And
color.
little daisies.
Little Dave. Can I get some horses on it?
Preferably with horns.
With arms.
I love when I'm sleeping to see little unicorn horsies.
Can I have glow in the dark stars on the ceiling?
Lee's
I'm
secret
scared
life.
of the dark.
Night lights, lots of them, just in case someone breaks in. Or
I'll
it's dark.
shoot them.
I will
And
shoot-
I'll be able to go to the bathroom without being scared.
I mean, in a world where there are
There's
void
just there's just a
monsters,
bathroom toilet that pops out of the side of the wall.
Ooh.
I'm
Gross.
safe. All right, so you all gather around this historically busy room.
That's a way to describe it.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, digression over. We meet up with Algie.
Yes, he would be pacing around the room.
We didn't talk to Sab about this.
We'll fill in later.
All right.
All right, so my whole thing is I don't actually know where a spike is, but due to reports of a certain burglary appearing in the area, I believe with a lot of my being that there's a thief in the area. And historically speaking, we have heard about someone with this particular style of thievery before.
Not the, oh, no. Sorry, I misread a lead from earlier.
Okay, that's fine.
How much of your being?
What's that?
How much of your being?
96%.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah. But there's a thief way back when who stole, I don't remember how many of the original spikes. I think 2? A little shady on that regard. But somebody broke into some rich guy's estate in, I think, Ziska, and pilfered of various void artifacts in a way that reminded me of the incident report from when he originally stole the spikes. So, I have crafted an exact replica. It is absolutely perfect of a spike. And I gave it to some other rich guy. And he's very, very showy. Matthias Tebben. He's this textiles manufacturer here in Jessamine. And, as expected, this guy normally keeps the spike under lock and key. Very, very secure, thinking that it's some precious void artifact. He doesn't know what it is. None the wiser. But he decided he's going to show it off. He's going to show off his entire collection. He's a bit of a artifact collector kind of thing. So he's good. Party.
Are we going to the party? Is that what
If you guys want to, it's a troubling circumstance. See, a friend of mine that you'll probably meet in a bit, he's a genius. So, the fake spike is actually outfitted with a radio transmitter that only transmits on a specific frequency.
LG, you're diabolical.
I know. Well, this was mostly Sykes' idea, but regardless.
The spikes do that too.
What's that?
The real ones do too. Sorta.
Well, in my Hastings device, sure.
Oh, yeah, the right. This one is a lot easier to track down, though, is the thing.
With a normal radio?
What, are there other kinds of radios?
Well.
The Hastings device.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess that would help, but this would be transmissible over a long distance and easy to pick up. So, couple options. One would be to not do anything and wait for the thief to just steal it, track down where he goes, and then go over there. Second option would be catch the thief red-handed and interrogate him. Interrogation yields more results if successful, but is a lot riskier. Just letting him steal it and move it just gets us one thing, a location.
That's a lot of waiting.
It's
It is a lot of weight, depending on how far it is. I mean, he could be delivering it to a client here in Jessamine.
Or it could be across the continent.
Yeah, or it could be across the continent. That's true.
I'm pretty sure I could snug us an invite.
I don't think Teppen's the voidy type.
He just said he collected void artifacts.
I didn't say that. I said he collected artifacts. He got the spike, but most of his collection is historical. I don't know what made him buy this thing, though. Maybe he's into the void. I don't know.
We could also just sneak into the party or something else.
Yeah, that works too.
A party would be a nightmare for security.
Well, I mean, there's probably going to be security already there, probably enforcers.
It's also a nightmare for him, because he's surrounded by not just us, but a bunch of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Do all the enforcers answer to Kenrick?
I'm sorry, what?
Do all the enforcers answer to Kenrick directly?
So there is a rank system. Most of the time they are kind of freelancers, but there is a system of rank that you could pull out. Your rank is probably called just an investigator, which is not necessarily a position of like just what you do, but more of just like your authority. I need to arrange this a little bit more, but it would probably be like patrolman, officer, maybe constable, investigators, pretty high. It's honestly one of the highest ranks that you can actually be and still be on the field. So you would probably be able to pull that out. There's probably one other investigator running the security at a kind of event like this that would be able to issue his own orders. You probably just couldn't walk around and say, everybody leave, and everyone will have to do it. there is still it is very possible for, even if you pull rank, someone to just say, no, I mean, you have the authority, but I'm using my own judgment. It's a bit looser than like a military organization, but yes.
I'm pretty sure
sorry, that's
Kenner
not
could be
right.
able to pull some strings for me if I wanted. We could always ask him to talk to whoever's in charge of security there.
Would he approve of you attempting to do this?
No, but he'd know he couldn't stop me.
I also never said that there were invitations required to this party.
It's just an open party.
Ah,
No,
That
they
I'm
really
not
don't
quite
tend to
sure
work
of.
like that.
but it might be a very easy party to crash.
That makes it even worse for security. Anyone can get in and try to.
Well, yeah, but
Typically,
he's
if they
only.
don't-
It's like a. The party isn't necessarily. Or the center of the party isn't necessarily the party itself. The center of it is the collection. It's like this unveiling of a collection that he's doing.
More like a
So it's an
museum.
exhibition.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah. So it's that. He'll be there, and there'll be drinks and costumes and.
Drinks.
Yeah.
What kind of costumes?
I don't know, masks maybe. I know rich people like that, but
Well, that does sound
Been to
like
a
the
few of
perfect
those.
time to try to steal something from somebody's
I
private
know it's
collection.
really, really stupid.
Hey,
Why
I'm
would you?
gonna throw a party where I show off all my super valuable stuff.
Mhm.
Everyone's wearing masks and stuff. When someone runs out of there with one of the things that I was trying to keep,
I mean,
it's really expensive. I don't know who they were
I
because
know,
they were wearing a
I know.
mask.
I've heard he hasn't spared any expense on the security though. I guess he just is the kind of type to flaunt this kind of stuff. But
I've done the sort.
How does this thief operate?
see, that's the reason I know he's gonna strike at this party. He is not, or she. We don't know the guy. Gal. I don't know. But last time they struck, it was during a time of profound distraction. There was a lot of activity going on. So they're not the kind of person to break in under cover of darkness, never be seen, and that's it. They might even be seen, just run straight in, get the spike, run out. That's what happened last time.
That would be a better idea. If no one's gonna see your face anyway, it gives them less time to react and plan.
Right. That being said, he's also advertised this spike thing publicly, and there might be other people that want to steal it, which we don't want to happen. We want this guy to steal it. But we don't know what that
Hopefully,
look
yeah.
like.
Hopefully the other people would be
Bad.
they
Bad
were
for
at their
Joe.
jobs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure if like the whole mask thing is required. That's just kind of what I.
Mr.
Why?
Barrett, if it didn't make you feel better, it'd probably be harder to see me, to shoot me under a mask.
Yes.
Probably
You could wear like
easier
a
to sneak
bulletproof one
in.
or something.
Probably be easier to sneak in if we were all wearing masks too.
So we find costumes, we get ourselves in there, we keep an eye on things and wait until someone steals the spike and then we take them down.
Would there be a way? Would there be a place for me to position myself with my rifle? Possibly with. Wait. So, like timeout. Like, is there ammunition, like tranquilizer type ammunition that you can get with, or tranquilizer firearms? Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I know there's
Oh,
tran-
yes.
I know there's the tranquilizers with crossbows and
Yeah.
such, but do they have those for firearms?
So probably not for true firearms. There might be like air rifles.
Okay.
Because I mean, any sort of firearm that's using gunpowder is going to propel even a dart
Yeah.
too fast.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
just deal too much
Yeah,
damage. But
yeah.
an air
An
rifle,
air rifle,
yeah,
like
sure.
something I could use my guns focus on.
Ah, yes, I would allow that.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's
It's actually probably pretty cheap to get an air rifle. They're pretty useful for like small game hunting, and I imagine a lot of people like that around here. Don't have to buy expensive bullets; just get small metal ball. There you go. So yeah, they're probably like a. There might even be like a super high-powered like pneumatic, sort of, like a grounder's grappling hook. That's air pressure powered. Don't ask me to explain how it works. I'm not an engineer. But yes, you could probably purchase something like that. To your question about like positioning, what you would say, I don't have the floor plans here, but we've got them at the unofficial headquarters of the protectors of the area. We'll be landing there in a bit. Um, yeah, I think we're landing in the center of the city. I don't think Ellison knows where we're landing. I should probably go tell her that.
Yeah, why didn't you go do that?
Okay, yeah, but if you all are interested in it, Grounder will be able to provide some sort of support. I don't know what that looks like. Uh, he's not the best on, as I said, finesse. I'm right here!
Um,
Grounder, what do you think you're the best at? I aim small and I miss small.
Grounder, suppose we gave you an air rifle of some kind with tranquilizers, so we can capture and put you in a position where you can overwatch the spike. And
That is what I do best.
so, if anyone tries to steal it, you can put them down without killing them. And that way I can stay on the ground near Heisel and keep her safe.
All right. That sounds excellent. LG's gonna leave the room and head up to the cockpit or bridge, I guess it would be. Ugh, that's so weird. So, how would you all suggest we find out which thief is the right one? Are we just going to interrogate all of them?
That might be the easiest way.
Now, this is an enjoyable party.
it might be the only way.
Right.
Leaving someone and letting them get away leaves the chance that they might be the right one.
We could
That's
just pretend to
true.
blend in with the rest of the security. If the real thief sees someone getting taken in by the security, Mr. What was it, Tibin, put in place, then it wouldn't necessarily deter them.
That's true.
Especially if it was more subtle than getting shot in the middle of a crowd.
I actually think from what I've heard from LG is that that would be actually perfect for the real thief to strike if there was pandemonium.
Maybe you should.
So we create a scene with full thief if they come in, and if that triggers an attack from the real thief, then all the better.
Yes, brilliant plan. Yes, that sounds excellent. But of course, every plan, what's the saying? No plan survives the first encounter?
No plan survives the first encounter with the enemy.
Right, yes. So, I'm sure that with this amount of people, this amount of partners of the protectors, that it should be fairly easy. But we shall see.
Perhaps.
I
Sorry.
want to see if we can get the rest of the enforcers in on us. Not with all the information that we've got, of course, but with the basic plan of trying to stop a thief.
I mean, you are certainly in a position to do that sort of thing, perhaps.
If you don't think this way, I can call Kenrick.
I could talk with whoever's in charge of security here.
Wait, you can call Maxim Kenrick.
He's an old friend.
You just have his radio frequency?
Yeah.
Well, now. You
Problem
certainly
solved.
are an important figure, then.
A well-connected figure.
Hmm.
There's sort of a difference.
Well, maybe there's an in with that at your... Maybe some sort of connection. Some... Oh, what do you call it? You could be someone's +1, but you're +1.
Actually,
Two.
about that, I do have a contact who's asking for a session. Is what Miguel told me. Marie Atkinson, I think the name was.
Ooh. She designed this rifle, and he just takes the rifle right off of his back.
Really?
Yes, right. Yes, her company is renowned for its efficiency. Would be the right word.
Do you know her at all?
I'm afraid not. She requested a session with you.
That means different things for different people, but yeah.
Well, that might be your way in, perhaps.
We'll see how long we get, or how well we get on.
Hmm.
But
Well-
we can try.
We should probably plan more of this later. I mean, we still have to land and get back to.
Oh, do you have a name?
I do have a name. Oh, yes. Get back to good old Shademere.
Shademere.
Yes, it's just what we took to calling the little area that we have as a headquarters, but it's not really a.
Bit dramatic.
Well, it's shady and it's near a pond, so Shademere.
Hmm.
Some of us are simple.
Will they let us in there?
What's that?
Will they let us in there?
There is one person that lives there. He'll let us in.
All of us.
Yes.
Hmm.
I mean, considering LG and I are here. And we're recruiting people constantly, or at least trying to, so it's absolutely fine.
Great. So we go to Shademere and talk with your contact.
Mm-hmm. Wait. The person at the building.
Or I don't know, whatever you want to do.
Contact.
What's funny?
It's just a funny term to refer to him as a contact.
What is he?
He's a protector.
He's someone you know that's going to help us out. He's your contact.
Well, I mean, he might help us out. He's not really much of a field agent, just kind of a bit mechanical support.
So what you're expecting from him is
He'll pick us up when we land and take us back to Shademere,
why?
because that's what friends do.
He's a
No, I-
driver.
He's not our driver.
I mean, why are we going back to Shademere?
Oh, the party isn't tonight. You all need a place to stay, don't you?
We go back for our lodgings. I'll go meet with Miss Atkinson. Then we play from here by there. We talk with Sykes. Who's he? He said something about the name Sykes.
Yes, that would be our contact, the person picking us up, Cyclone.
Oh.
He is. I don't know really how to summarize him, but
But he's the one who thought of putting the radio frequency inside of the decoy spike.
that is correct. He's.
So he should probably be in on some of this, right?
Oh yes, certainly. He may even have some devices for you all to help you on this sort of thing. Perhaps. I don't know.
What kind?
Intriguing.
Well, I'm not well acquainted with the field of technology, or anything in the field of natural philosophy, but he's big on anything powered by whale oil. Not a big fan of Voidright, from what I've heard. He's gone on tirades about it all the time. It's a
We'll be sure not to
volatile
bring it up.
substance. What's that?
We'll be sure not to bring it up.
That is probably a smart idea. He designed this grappling hook on this gun. He designed. Oh, you all saw Ren's wingsuit. Yes, that was him.
Hmm.
Yes.
We welcome any help we can get.
Yes. I'd imagine he'd be quite useful.
So we'll end. We'll tell Alison to do whatever she wants for the next couple of days until the party's over. When is the party? We'll ask LG when the
LG
party
did
is.
not tell me.
We'll ask LG. We'll tell Alison to take some days off. We'll go talk with Sykes. I'll go talk with Maria Atkinson. We'll see
It's
about
just-
finding
it's
ourselves
just-
some costumes. It's fine, it's fine.
No, it's just Psych. No Sykes.
Oh.
It's short for Cyclone.
Is there a reason for that, or is it like everyone else's name and it's completely arbitrary?
It is his code name. His real name is not Cyclone.
What's his real name?
Not pertinent.
That's a weird name.
Indeed it is. I should make that my code name. I should say my
You
name
don't
is
need
classified.
another-
Oh,
I thought you didn't get to choose. You specifically.
well, I do now, I guess, since everybody else chose for me.
What is the explanation behind Grounder specifically?
I have no idea. It was Ren's idea. She just said, "Welcome to the Protector's Grounder," and that was it. And I was, who's Grounder? Why is he a protector and not me?
What were you before you were a protector?
It's actually a good question. I was a spy
For who?
for the Lord Protector and the Royal Spy Master.
You were there from the beginning.
Mm-hmm, that's correct. Right, and when the Empire fell and the official spy ring was dissipated, I was out of work, and the protectors were still around, so I started working for them.
You speak quite freely for a spy.
It's part of the policy change. We're kind of being a bit less clandestine than we used to be, because we need to get our influence out. So now we're not just spies, but ambassadors for the Empire.
Does seem like a contradiction.
Oh, not entirely.
Hmm.
Spies
the
don't have
best.
to be hidden.
Some of the best spies are ambassadors, actually. Or people of public character.
That's right.
I don't
There are a
think
fair
you
amount
want
of
Ren's
protectors that are
character in
ambassadors.
public.
Not the point. All right. How long have we got until we land again?
Probably 20 minutes now. And you all would probably observe the landing process. You would see Jessamine from the air and see that it is a town entirely built around a river. In fact, it looks like half of the city is on the river, like this network of houseboats, basically.
Nice.
Some of them are really, really big, like entire floating structures, just straight on the water. But most of the city looks to be, you'd see a pattern of red houses, almost all of them brick. There's a bunch of clay right next to a river. But the area itself looks pretty pure, almost. I don't know. You have probably seen the Wrenhaven River where Dunwall is, and that thing is trash. It's like the Ohio River, basically. Very, very polluted. This one is very, very dark blue. Might not be that way for long with how many houseboats and floating structures are on it, but you can also see kind of on the horizon lots of rolling hills and very, very tall, kind of lightly colored trees. Kind of the shade of birch trees, but much taller and even wider as well. So that would be Jessamine. You all are landing in the heart of the city itself. There seems to be an airport there. I might need to come up with a better airship port. It's just for airships. There's not like a
Doc? I don't know.
an air dock. Yes. Okay. I like that better. You're right.
This is my only job as an English major.
There you go. Air
Is to
dock.
come up with synonyms.
Words.
I like it.
My profession is words.
Do we want
So-
to take a Do we want to take a 5-minute break here so we can
Yes.
get Jacob and
That
Sam
sounds
back in and
excellent.
see our first sight of the city?
Yes. All right. We will see you all in a bit.